Today we'll be looking at some aspects of diversity in terms of culture, gender, and religious diversity. We'll start with the cultural diversity. Culture is a way of life of particular set of people sharing the same geographical boundary. It is a shared value. It is a belief system. So, and because of the fact that people share different geographical location, uh, tends to have different cultural values. When you share the same geographical location, there is high possibility that you have the same shared value. And of course, if you are born in Lagos and you grew up in the north, there is high probability that you are going to share the value system of the northern people because of that is your location. So that is why culture is a shared value, a belief system, a way of life of a particular set of people sharing the same geographical boundary. So, and therefore, because it is their way of life, it is what they eat, it is what they breathe, it is what they bet with, it is what they see as the only alternative to their sustenance. So it becomes difficult when you now have people with different cultural background working together in the organization. It poses a lot of challenges because uh, what I value may be less value in another society. My belief system uh, may be barbaric to other society, and that is why we have cultural shock, and that is why we have cultural conflict. If I'm expressing a particular culture that I felt is barbaric for the first time, uh, I'm going to explain what we call cultural shock. And if I'm also uh, coming in conflict with a culture I believe is barbaric, and I want to superimpose my culture on them, it may generate cultural conflict. And of course, you now have some particular set of people outside their geographical location, living in another geographical location, but because of their excessive adherence, attachment to their culture, they find it difficult to adapt to the culture of their new society. In that regard, we call them cultural lagging. They will be lagging behind against the main culture of the organization. However, the advent of information and communication technology and globalization have influenced the emergence of mixed cultures and society. You have people moving down from different parts of the world to the west, people come from the west to sub-Saharan African country for work, the presence of multinational companies bringing so diverse people with different culture, different orientation together to work in an organization. So in our contemporary time now, we have diverse culture and belief system in the organization. So another related concept in terms of components of diversity is gender diversity. Unlike the earliest forms of organizational life, talking about the period of industrial revolution when organizations start to emerge, the definition of gender then is just male and female. But in our contemporary world, things has changed. People have emerged with different orientation in the society, reflecting itself in the workplace or diversing itself to other parts of the world. Gender now becomes orientation. It is no longer a physical measure of being a male or female. It is orientation. And of course, we have various kind of gender issue. We have gender discrimination, we have gender biases, we have gender prejudice, and we have gender stereotype at work. And that is why, like International Labour Organization, advocates gender protection at work, especially gender against violence against women, violence against girl child. And in other parts of the world, gender discrimination comes in both ways. It could be gender discrimination against male, it could be gender bias or gender violence against female. It could come in both ways. But in this part of the world, especially in sub-Saharan African countries, when we talk about gender discrimination, gender violence, gender biases, we talk about discrimination against women, especially when it comes to sexual harassment. Sexual harassment in the Western world could be in both ways. It could be a female assaulting the male colleague or subordinate. But in this part of the world, sexual assault, sexual harassment against male is not well pronounced and is not seen as something reasonable to constitute a problem in the organization or in the society. But what is socially accepted, what is socially pronounced are sexual violations, sexual violence, sexual assault against female. In most cases, I'm not saying it is one way all the time, but in most cases in sub-Saharan African countries. Another forms of components of diversity that affect the workplace is religious diversity, because through globalization, through creation of borderless economy, and advanced countries especially are looking for talent from different parts of the world, from Asia, from Middle East, from Africa. We now have those people, as they are moving to the Western world, to the US, they are coming with their own technology, with their own culture, with their value system, and essentially is their religious belief system. Through that, we have so many people practicing Islam in majorly conventional Christian area, or an area that is predominantly predominantly in Hindu in terms of their religious belief. So you have that people in the workplace now, in a global workplace now, you have people of Islam belief, you have people of Christian belief, you have people of Hindu, you have the Jew, you have different belief systems working together in the organization. What are their impacts in the organization? You may likely have inter-religious level conflict. Inter-religious level conflict, that is Muslim versus Christian, Christian versus Jew. And this is not only in organization, it's also rear its ugly head in the larger society as well. Hello sir. Sir, mo wà ní online class ni. Mo ń ṣe YouTube video ni tí máa send sáwọn student mi, so ìjọ Sunday ni máa ń ṣe. Sir? Yeah. Mi sínú campus báyìí, ilé mo wà. Wọ́n decentralize mi. Ẹ mọ̀ pé mi sanwó sí bank direct ni. So most of that sanwó sí bank direct. Mo dẹ̀ send evidence wọn, wọ́n ní pé mo send ẹ̀ sí Dr. Aaron, wọ́n ní pé it's too late. So most of that sanwó sí bank direct, wọ́n decentralize wa. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo ti bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀, mo dẹ̀ ti ní table mi ní Explorer. We are voting for OVO. Ní faculty wa náà, we also voting nítorí Adedeji is there campaigning for him in our faculty. Ogundeji. So the vote from management science we go to OVO. Then my table, Explorer table, OVO is member of Explorer table, so and the policy is that they don't support an outsider. Ògbó náà ni mo ti sọ yẹn fún wọn from time, mo dẹ̀ ti sọ fún àwọn members náà. Yeah. mi Danjuma wá bá mi lọ́fíìsì and I told him èèyàn tó jẹ́ kí n support gangan ní kíní Jagun is my brother ní àjọ wá láti tí ọ̀sà ni, ọmọ tọmọ ọrọ̀ lèmi, ọmọ Ìláṣẹ lòun, Ẹ̀gbẹ́ ara la wà. So ó jáde, mo dẹ̀ ti sọ fún mi ní mi fẹ́ wà involved ní election, I'm going to be neutral. I've told him àbúrò mi ló support ẹ̀. Danjuma wá bá mi lọ́fíìsì and I told him I'm going to be neutral in this election, I'm not supporting anybody. So kọ́ tí mo sọ fún Danjuma nìyẹn. Last week gan ló wá bá mi lọ́fíìsì. So nǹkan tí mo sọ fún Danjuma and Jagun, and I was so surprised lánàá. Some of my friends were accusing me that mo fún àwọn èèyàn ní nọ́mbà àwọn kan máa pa àwọn káwọn vote fún mo ní èmi pé I'm not involved in this election. People were just using my name left, right and center. People àná ọ̀rẹ́ mi kan sì pè mí. I told them I'm not involved in this election. I don't want to. I'm just neutral with it. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni wọ́n ń pa àwọn èèyàn pé Túndé Elégbèdé wà pẹ̀lú àwọn Túndé, so and I told them, àwọn ń pè mí pé ṣé mo wà pẹ̀lú, mo ní no, I'm not supporting Danjuma, I'm not supporting. I've told them when they came to meet me, èèyàn tó jẹ́ kí n support gangan ní Jagun. So and I've told him, ó pe gbogbo àwọn èèyàn nínú ìlú kan pè mí, ó pe àwọn cousins wa nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀, and I told them this is my stand. So it's just unfortunate that people were àwọn nọ́mbà tó ti náà kàn pé wọ́n pé Túndé Elégbèdé ń ṣiṣẹ́ fáwọn ṣe tó bá pè mí máa ń sọ fún wọn pé don't mind them. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni sà. Okay sir. Màá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí tí máa ti parí online class yẹn sì máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní máa pe àwọn èèyàn. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni sà. Kíní ni àwọn mo ṣọ́ nǹkan àwọn kíní ló máa fẹ́ ṣiṣẹ́ yẹn, àwọn mani ò sí bí mani ló dẹ̀ ń support Ọ̀ṣánkóló. Ẹ mọ̀ pé àti last election lèmi àti Ọ̀ṣánkóló ti fall out láti sí Ngútà mọ́, but bóun ṣe dà mí last election mi ò fẹ́ kọ́mà láti sọ pé máa dà, because tá bá kúrò ní Junior Laga máa padà sílé. So kan tí mò ń wò mọ́ lára nìyẹn. Like he called one of our cousins and I told that our cousin pé kó béèrè lọ́wọ́ wọn pé ṣé wọ́n support èmi ní last election, another camp náà wà náà, pé mi ìfẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́lẹ́ction mi, I don't want to be quoted, I don't want to be involved, pé kó má dà mí láàmú. So ìgbà tẹ́mi àti wọn sọ̀rọ̀ mo suspecting pé Manikungu kò sí ibi tán ti ń so ìgèrè, ibi tán ti máa ń tu ló máa ń wà. So òun ló lè lóru strategy yẹn. Okay sir. Increasingly, we have interreligious level conflict at work today. But whatever transpires in the larger society tends to reflect itself in the industrial organization. And it is also possible for us to have an intra-religious conflict. because each religious have different sects. In Islam, they have different sects. In Christianity, you have different sects. The Catholic may believe that their religious system is somehow, their value is better than that of the Pentecostal. Why the Sunnites believe that their religious value, their value system within Islam is better than that of the Salaf, the Wahhabiyya, and the Shiite. So then you have the Orthodox Christian believing that they are the real Christian, and also you have the Reform and Orthodox Jews claiming that they are the real Jew, that the current Jew apparently themselves are Ashkenazi Jew. So you have that kind of sect, and it's always in contradiction. You may believe that they belong to the same religious belief, but they have different sect and orientation, and that may be a source of conflict. And this creates a lot of tension in the organization. So there's need to manage these religious conflict. So there are various methods or strategies with which to manage religious conflicts at work. Like Chapman 2014 and Misara 2014 said, in view of anti-discrimination legislation across several countries and jurisdictions, organizations, particularly in Western countries, are interested in devising strategy and management intervention to mitigate negative organization and personal consequences of religious discrimination in the workplace. So, and what are those strategies? First, enacting legislation against religious discrimination at work. Implementing and punishing offenders timely and appropriately. Enlightenment about the need to tolerate others. It is just a belief system. It has nothing to do with the work you are doing. It has nothing to do with humanity. That is why ILO is talking about decent employment, employment with dignity, with human face. These are some of the belief, some of the strategies to be adopted. And lastly, organization must have its own values and orientation, objective, culture that is to be shared and believed by all members of the organization. There are other strategies with which to manage diversity at work. We have continuous diversity training, where people are trained continuously on how to tolerate and accommodate each other within the workplace. Thank you very much.